Everyone, welcome to the Stage 20 betting preview for the Tour de France. Well, it's been a long ride, but we're almost in Paris now. Just 2 stages left to go. Unfortunately, all the jerseys have been pretty much decided, barring some really unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances. So we're really just going to focus on the stage today. It should be an interesting one, a 40.7 kilometer individual time trial. Before we get going, if you enjoy these previews, and I've certainly enjoyed bringing them to you again on this Tour de France, hit the like button. It does help the channel a lot. And also, please do subscribe to our channel, and you can stay in touch with our rugby and sometimes horse racing previews during the year. We're also planning a few new things on the Good for the Game channel. Enough about that. Let's get into a quick recap of the stage 19 and Jumbo-Visma. Well, their dominance just continues. It was a stage which looked like ending in the sprint finish that most of us were forecasting, and it almost did. The break got away early, but it was hard raced all along. I mean, the break was never given a lot of time. There were counterattacks, new people going off the front. It was a frantic stage. I mean, the riders must have been absolutely out of it by the time they got into the finish line there. But we saw Wout van Aert. It was very clear that he wasn't going to sprint for the stage win. He was actually leading the peloton with a few kilometers to go, keeping Vingegaard out of trouble. And then Christophe Laporte, he's probably going to be the helper for Well, he's going to lead Van Aert out in the Sunday stage in Paris. He took advantage of the opportunity. He bridged to the break. I remember the commentator saying at the time he made a mistake not jumping past him. But actually, he did the right thing. You can only obviously say these things sometimes in retrospect, but he managed to catch a breather on the back wheels. But before the peloton caught, he jumped again and he went through and he ended up holding on for the stage win. Brilliant win there for Laporte and well-deserved for a very good tour for him. But it is a bit scary the way Jumbo-Visma are dominating at the moment. Right, Jasper Philipsen, he'll be disappointed because he was clearly best of the rest. He came in a second, just behind. And Dainese, he's someone we've spoken about a couple of times in this tour. It was great to see him race a very good third place. From a betting perspective, unfortunately, not a great one for me. I wasn't necessarily expecting too much from the stage. But, none of my guys are back for like top three finishes. I think Christophe was probably the first there, and he came in about 15th. Right, give you guys a final view of what I look like after quite a rough Friday night. And let's have a look then at bring the actual stage back up here. This 40.7 kilometer time trial. It looks fairly flat on the profile, but if you have a look at the profile, you'll see 1.6 kilometers here with about 35 kilometers gone at 4.7%. I mean, that's decent. And then the final climb is 1.5 kilometers, so not that long, but at 7.8%. Now, 7.8% is definitely enough to really stop your pure time trial who can't climb. I mean, he's going to lose a lot of time on this sort of one. So it does suit the climbers, can make quite a bit of time on the time trialists. And we've got quite a lot of guys in this field who frankly can do both. We'll have a look at the betting now. But if you look at the fact that doesn't really impact the profile, it does tell you that this is quite stretched. And there's a lot more rolling hill in here than what this profile looks like. There's, I think, 400 odd meters of climbing in this stage. So it's not a straightforward, flat time trial, this one. It would have been a brilliantly exciting route, I think, had we had competition for the jerseys, like the yellow jersey and perhaps the white jersey. As it is in the top 10, I guess the only question is whether Meintjes can maybe get a hold of Quintana and whether Vlasov will go above both of them, something I suspect he will with some ease. Right, let's go to the betting now. And for the stage, and I'm going to go on to World Sports Betting first of all to have a look. We've got Wout van Aert at 5-6, Philippe Ganna 47-20. I'll get back to those two in a second. Pogacar, well, we know he's got the ability to win a time trial after 13-2. But, realistically, he knows he cannot win the Tour de France. I think mentally he's going to be slightly off. And I get the feeling physically he's not quite as strong as he has been perhaps in past years. And he hasn't always performed well in this final time trial. Jonas Vingegaard, there's no doubt he's the fresher of the two when you compare him to Pogacar at 7-1. The problem I've got with him is he really doesn't have to take any risks today. I mean, he can ride pretty conservatively. He can lose a couple of minutes and still comfortably win the Tour de France. I'm not expecting him to do that, but I do think that plays a role when it comes to things like pushing through the corners and that sort of thing. And those sort of seconds can prove vital. So Vingegaard at 7-1, I'm prepared to overlook both of those guys. Thomas has shown some good legs over the last couple of days. He's 11-1, certainly a capable time trialist. And Stefan Kung, who be interested to see if my mate Chris Sturdy goes for him on the Good for the Game forum. There's a link to that down below as well. He is 18-1, but hasn't really impressed me in this Tour de France. He hasn't looked as strong as he has in the past. Bissiger, well, he's impressed me in the last few days, but this route should be a little bit hilly for him. And Christophe Laporte, will he go for it again? Possibly, but this won't be the stage for him. He'll be more focused on the job that he's got to do tomorrow. A quick mention of Lampard, 33-1 there. He, of course, won the opening stage, a big upset there. Let's bring my bets up, though. I want to pop on just across to Sunbet, though, as well, to have a look at what I've worked on here from a match bet point of view. And 4 units, Wout van Aert win at 5 to 6 at World Sports Betting. So that is my main bet. My logic for this is simply he's riding brilliantly in the third week. He's got a history of just getting stronger and stronger in Grand Tours. It was clear from his tactics yesterday, or the way he rode the stage yesterday, that he is targeting the time trial. And when Wout van Aert targets something, Wout van Aert was going to go very close to getting it. And that takes you to the second part. Now, World Sports Betting do have a money back special in the form of free bets if your rider runs second. And this is the sort of stage where I like this special, because you can back a guy like Wout van Aert at 5 to 6. If he is beaten by Ganna, for example, who I think is the big danger, then you get your money back. And I'd be surprised if he runs, quite frankly, outside of the top 2. Just a quick mention on Ganna. To me, he hasn't looked at his best. He certainly is a brilliant time trialist. He should lose some time to Van Aert up the final climb. And it's a question if he can put enough into him on the flatter stages. Done a little bit of reading of various previews on this. Guys who are very knowledgeable about cycling. I never claimed to be anywhere in that league. I really just love the Tour de France and cycling in general. But guys are talking about the wind being, there's a headwind at the start of the stage, and the wind will be slightly stronger by the looks of it for Van Aert than for Ganna. So that might give Ganna a chance of stopping the Wout van Aert train from rolling. Anyway, that's my one bet. 4 units, Van Aert at 5 to 6. Money back for second. Then I've got a double. Considering whether to get involved, sort of heads up on these, but I like Lutsenko over Vlasov, and that is at 11 to 10 at Sunbet, and Vingegaard over Pogačar also at 11 to 10. Now, if you throw those two into a double, it gives you 17 to 5. So that's that's over 3 to 1 there. So 34 to 10. Just under 3.5 to 1, just under 7 to 2. Mentioning all the fractions there for you old school punters. Right, that double, why do I like it? Well, Lutsenko to me has looked very good in this final week. Yes, Vlasov's also come to hand nicely. But Lutsenko is a man, I think, if you see in the outright betting, he is a bit shorter than Vlasov. So I was a little bit surprised to be getting 11 to 10 about him. It's probably just because he's got a bit less to ride for. So if he's not having a great day, he might just step off. Whereas Vlasov is definitely got 5th place to ride for it, and a big performance can be expected from him. But I'm going Lutsenko 11 to 10 and Vingegaard 11 to 10 over Pogačar. I do think, I have a feeling that Pogačar might just have a little bit of a bad day today. He, as I say, mentally may not be where we would like him to be for this stage. On the note of Lutsenko, he's 80 to 1 with 80 to 1 with Sunbet for the win. He's 14 to 1 for a top 3. I don't see him winning the stage, but I'm going to go for a little nibble on him, a unit there, top 3 at 14 to 1. Another market I was quite interested in, but I haven't placed anything yet. The margin between winner and second place. It's favorite is less than 20 seconds. 20 seconds or more is 23 to 20. I'd be leaning towards 20 seconds or more here. I was hoping for slightly less seconds. I was hoping for around about 15. But, as I say, I kind of make this a 2-horse race. I could, of course, be horribly wrong. And I think there's every chance that, for example, someone like Ganna doesn't have a great day, and we could get a victory by more than the 20 seconds. But at this stage, I'm keeping my powder dry there. Anyway, everyone, that's it for this particular stage. We will, of course, be back for the final stage, the rolling into Paris. Interesting to see how they're going to be betting for that one. And, we're in for a thrilling sprint finish then. But that's it for this Tour de France preview. A quiet day for me on the punting front. There's no rugby to bet on. I might take a pick 6 or something like that just to keep a bit of a betting interest in the horses. Not something I do that often. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you for stage 21.